right, we are live.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome. I am Ronki, your GM, and joining me today in order of their character avatars, we have Nosh, Rigel Kent, Gigaman, and FX Engineer. We are absent Mel, who normally plays our ship's Doctor, Dr. Jones. Today we dive into a Star Trek campaign set in the original series era. We are using the very awesome GURPS system by Steve Jackson Games, and our VTT of choice is Fantasy Grounds. You can find this and past sessions on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. Links are in the video description. If you enjoy our content, please like this video and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels. Do we have any character business? Captain Ramius or Nosh? Does Captain Ramius have any business?
No. We're wrapping things up this session. I think I'm just gonna carry over until we bring Ramius back.
If he comes back.
He's going to die in this session, though.
You're all going to die with him.
Rigel Kent, does Commander Lorian have any character business?
Yeah, I spent something last week. I don't know what it was, but I had one remaining, and I went ahead and picked up hiking like I've been needing, even though it probably won't come into use. But
Cool. Geigerman, does Commander Dallas have any character business?
Nope.
FX Engineer, does Psylocke have any character business?
He does. I didn't know what the rules were for spending points, but
I think you were saving up for one of your wildcard skills because they cost
crap.
like a mammoth amount to increase.
Well, I didn't do that. I tried to round out my character a little bit. I just picked up. I don't know what the rules are. I can undo it if it's not allowed. But I picked up diplomacy, and then I picked up judo. I figure he knows how to do some self-defense hand-to-hand, and then I raised up like a lot of my electronics operation, sensor, different skills. They were at 1 point. I put them at 2 points. Not all of them, but some of them.
All right. Well, ordinarily you would have had to use the skill to be able to increase it, but I'm not going to be too strict on that. You've had holodeck training.
Yeah, and it seems like we don't really get a lot of opportunities to use skills anyway, so it'd be really hard. It was really hard to use some of them.
All good.
And since I figured this was kind of like a one shot, not a lot of continuity between one session and the other.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then I will get the captain's log ready.
I'm ready. Captain's log.
Not yet.
Don't.
You got to whistle it. On the cue, you may begin.
Captain's log. Stardate 5349.8. Admiral Stoker's wild tale may not be so wild after all. We've seen things that defy traditional scientific explanation. What are we doing if we are not on a science mission after all? The Admiral directed us to refrain from keeping specific notes on our mission and progress, but I have to say that I am challenged, intrigued, and even a little bit scared. Space is huge, and we don't know who or what is out there, and what the unknown can do to those we love. There are a lot of factors to consider here.
he would never admit to being scared.
There was a lot of alliteration in there with a lot of S's and soft S sounds, and it was very challenging.
All right, so you have some time before you arrive in the unknown system that you were instructed to go to. If you recall, you have this person on board. Oops, wrong one.
Right, the serial killer.
Who's this?
Serial killer.
If you recall from...
He wasn't here.
I think you were.
He was not. No, he was.
No, I played
the last one.
I played that Admiral's log last session, I think.
You did, but refresh my memory. I'm not putting a memory to this face.
All right, so Castellandra, she is a school teacher. She was just normal, until
Right.
she went into a restaurant and killed everyone.
That's her.
When she was picked up or arrested or whatever, she had no memory of what she did, and yeah, that was a complete blank. And the admiral believed that she is somehow related to all the weird goings on that have been happening through the course of this campaign. In the adventure that you were absent, at the very end, she was transported onto the Lexington, and you were instructed to go to this unknown moon in an uncharted system, which is apparently a location that Casalandra has said, will hold the key to everything. I'm not sure whether she has been placed in the brig or is in confined to quarters, or what the situation is with her. We haven't really
What did Starfleet tell us to do? Because I would have thrown a serial killer into the brig.
She transported on board. I think, if I recall, they didn't give any specific instructions, but after she had transported, you received orders to go to the system, or the system that Casalandra wants to go to. You were to go there and wait, or await further instructions.
Okay. And did we get any instructions between last session and this session on what to do with the admiral? Are we keeping her still confined? Are we releasing her? Is she going to grab a phaser and kill me?
Why? You didn't throw her in the brig. I did.
The admiral has been kept in the brig thus far. Starfleet has not given you any specific instructions with her, other than I think keep her confined until further orders. Whether that's going to be confined to quarters or in the brig, or however you want to handle it, it's entirely up to you. But you were under the impression that once you got to the unknown system, you would get further instructions from Starfleet.
Okay. Well, I think then keeping her in the brig is perfectly fine.
She obviously protests, claims that she's working for the greater good. There's some evilness afoot, and Starfleet is compromised by the same sort of alien weirdness that probably encouraged Casalandra to murder a whole bunch of people and caused Vulcans and Trill and all that to turn up to one of the ancient ruins that you investigated in an adventure a few adventures back, which I'm not sure if you were on that one.
Well, it's all very moot to me, because simply if Starfleet is not ordering us to release her under her own recognizance, and therefore reestablishing her command capability, she can sit in the brig.
All right. Are there any questions or anything that you would like to find out from either of these people before arriving in system? And in typical Star Trek fashion, the fact that you rescued an NX class starship and crew and all that seems to be entirely forgotten and is not with you or anything like that.
Boo!
It's almost like this series is episodic.
It's clearly not, because this admiral has showed up multiple times. She should have been dead after the first time she showed up at the end.
Well, maybe you can remedy that at the end of this one.
So with Casalandra, so we haven't. Has she just come with us, or has she been with us for some time?
It's been 2 days since she's been on board. So if you recall, you were en route to this No, I think it's two. Well, I think it was 2 days.
No, there's no way it's going to be just 2 days because space is much bigger than that.
Well,
It generally
she's
takes them in toss weeks to get to locations.
however long it is that it took you to get to this new location is how long she's been there with you.
Okay. Then I think what I would do is confine her to quarters, because if she hasn't officially been charged with anything, and again, there's been no order about confining her, or putting her into cells, I would say she'll be confined to her quarters, under guard. Ash needs something to do.
All right. So she'll be confined to quarters. Is there any information that you would have, or any questioning that you would have done prior to your arrival?
Well, I think this is where I would have leaned into my command team to generate some ideas as to what we might want to ask her to better understand what we're heading into.
What are we going to find there?
You're asking her?
Well, if I were to jump back to Star Trek, the movie, the motion picture, I'd be kind of approaching her the way Kirk approached. What was the name of that character? The clone. Anyway,
Khan?
Not Khan. No, remember the in the motion picture, she was the bald alien humanoid, and the probe Delton. That was it. The probe recreated her as a she was collecting data on the ship, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd be kind of like wanting to find out from Casalandra, what is she sensing? Does she have any contact with where we're going?
Ilya.
That's it, Lieutenant Ilya, or Alea, or however. I'd be kind of like, are you in connection with, in contact in some way, whether mentally, with wherever we're heading? Can you see it in your mind's eye? Yada, yada, yada.
She will tell you that she can't see it. She does feel there's some sort of connection, and the closer that you get to this place, the connection seems to get stronger. It's like she'll tell you, it feels right. It feels like I need to go there, that I'm meant to be there.
Oh, this is where we need the medical officer to come in here and shake us from this emotionally driven stuff.
You have had Dr. Jones do some scans on her and such, but you found absolutely nothing. Everything seems to be normal, and she is functioning within parameters for a human.
All right. So really, it's something emotive for you, and you feel that this is right, and you're heading into the right space or place, but you're not kind of getting any messages, or you're not visualizing anything.
She says sometimes she has dreams of cities, she imagines old cities, an architecture she's not familiar with, and she will describe some of that architecture which you've already encountered. She says, but they've only sort of appeared in her dreams. She's not had anything sort of waking. And she will see alien peoples that she's not familiar with.
Can she describe them?
She describes the creature, and as far as you can tell, it's not any of the known species within known space. And she will also mention a name.
Bob. The name is Bob.
No, it's Ilea.
She calls them. Let me make sure I pronounce this right.
Deltons.
No, I was gonna say, if she calls them something from 40K, we're out of here.
I want to say Tilical. I'm trying to find the actual name. Yeah, Tilical.
Is there a spelling on that?
No, you have to guess.
Well, I guessed right. Awesome.
Or Tilicall.
Tilical? Anyway, and now, is she getting a sense these are all individuals or maybe like a hive collective?
She's uncertain.
Well, Science Officer Dallas, what do you make it of all?
Actually, I'm not sure if like telepathy appears on like tricorder scans and such in the Star Trek universe. I'm not sure if that's something that you could
I think it
sense or
might
detect.
be able to be detected, but I'm not positive.
So it could be like telepathic, but scanners and such are not picking up anything like that.
So she can't quite say whether these are individuals or a collective of some kind.
She's not certain, but she doesn't hear like multiple voices or anything like that, as if like part of a collective. She seems to hear like individual voices and stuff when they speak.
And what are they saying?
They're telling her she could save up to 15% by changing it over to Geico.
Of course.
Also, she needs to get her VPN replaced.
They're not saying anything in particular. It's just like standard conversation, like, how's the weather today? It's not like they're talking to her specifically.
Okay.
It's like she's an outsider looking in.
Right. Okay. Well, Science Officer Dallas, what do you make of all of it?
I am not a biologist, Captain. Would you like me to have the team start researching?
She will also say that she doesn't feel a threat, but Admiral Stoker seems to think that there is, whatever this is a threat. Not that murdering a whole restaurant of people is normal.
Okay. Well, we'll keep her confined to quarters under armed guard. But I think, I want to hear from the others. What are their best, I guess at this point, guesses as to what we're heading into?
Trouble.
Her personality too comes across as that of a kind, doting grandmother
who murders people in her spare time.
Correct.
Well, we can't all be perfect.
Well, she didn't really tell us all that much about where we're going, did she?
She doesn't really know about it. She just knows that she has to go there.
Yeah, so we really don't know anything more now than we did before.
What do we have on the database currently about that particular location, if anything?
Nothing. It's uncharted.
Of course it is.
The Admiral has said that you should not trust Cassalandra.
I don't trust either one of them.
She's under the influence of whatever it is that has taken hold of Starfleet.
Who let the Admiral out of her cage so she could come tell us that?
Well, this is messages that's found its way to you through, security and stuff like that. Security will come and say, she keeps telling us to pass on this message that this is this and that is that. Don't trust Cassalandra. Starfleet is compromised. So this is just what security are reporting, unless you actually go and visit her directly.
If this were TNG, I'd assume we'd have some kind of ship psychologist involved here. But seeing as we don't, I don't know if we have anybody that specializes in that sort of thing. But
there might be an equivalent of a counselor, because I know it's completely unofficial and fan made, but was it the Continuing Adventures? I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, where they did the up to a little before the original series movie. They did actually have a counselor, and it does sort of make sense considering the raw insanity that we go through on like a weekly basis.
Well, assuming we had somebody that could perform that sort of thing, and it could be that Dr. Jones would be the one to pull that off, but hypnosis might be able to actually use some sort of hypnotic technique, maybe something a little less esoteric than our current understanding of it, and get the grandma to actually start speaking for what the aliens are saying.
It's
My pet theory is that these two were dorm roommates at one time way back when, and we are seeing the outplay of a long-standing feud.
Totally.
Okay. Well, I presume we don't have a hypnotist on board, nor a psychologist. The good doctor who is in her quarters.
That falls under the medical wildcard.
I'm assuming it would.
Ooh, good
although
question.
That is an assumption.
Where does the medic wild card at?
Should be under wild card.
Yeah, it's not under the standard.
No, but which book?
Basic set, I think. I think it's just medicine or something.
Medicine, that's what it was. Biology, physiology, psychology is one.
And none of the Vulcan abilities might work, I think.
That's
Lorian can't mind meld.
Well,
the
he's not the
Psylocke
only
can.
Vulcan.
Does Psylocke have mind melding?
I just took the template, so I have Vulcan Psi talent. I don't know that I have mind meld specifically. Is that a power?
I believe the
or
talents
skill?
are just talents. They'll add to the skill levels of whatever the powers are that you're using, but they don't do anything on their own.
I would say we go to the doc. She's got the skill base.
Medicine. I looked at the power up 7 wild cards. Biology, diagnosis, electronics, ops, blah blah blah, hypnotism.
Oh, does it call that out specifically? Yeah. Well, there you go.
I mean, at this far advanced in the future, there could be an actual scientific, pseudoscientific hypnotherapy thing.
Hypnotoad.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, so the doctor can do some brain
Regression.
massage.
Flashes some weird lights.
And you want to do it on Castellandra?
Well, I think, yeah, well, for sure, but only if she's, I mean, obviously, there's no forced treatment here. This has got to be something that she is openly wanting to do.
She's okay with it. She would comply with stuff if it helps sort out
Her
what's going on.
compliance will be rewarded.
All right, so you're going to go ahead with that?
Yes, indeed.
Why not?
I'm calling shenanigans. That's not a Mel roll.
Let me fix that then. Instead of success by 3.
There you go. That's closer.
All right, so you will put her into a suggestive state. What do you hope to gain from this?
We definitely want to. I think we want to get even better clarity on what she's seeing, what she's interacting with. Is that where you were going there?
We essentially want to ask the same questions, but this time without her normal mind blocking out the real answers.
Okay, well, she will describe similar scenes like ancient cities and structures that you're already familiar with. She will speak in an entirely different language, which the universal translator is not working out yet.
Her head is going to rotate and she's going to vomit pea soup at any moment now.
Translator is not translating.
Not translating the language at all. But you will hear between these alien sentences, you will hear the odd sentence in English. She says at one point, "I can hear you. Yes, I'm coming."
Great. I think we need to put her in the brig too.
Can the doctor ask her to say, can you tell us what are they saying to you? What are they asking you specifically?
She will speak in tongues again, and then in English, she says, "Purge the lightning. Purge, 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 purge."
What is the lightning?
She will again speak in tongues, but doesn't give you any answer to what the lightning is.
Does the alien language she used sound like it's the same language?
Yes. So when she speaks, it does have the same tones
Gotcha.
and such.
In a very dramatic fashion, in a very Kirkian fashion, Ramius will kind of reach over and grab her by the shoulders and ask more sort of impatiently, "But what is the lightning? Is it? Tell us more. We don't understand."
She says, "It's too early. It's too early." Then she says, "Only there we can begin to purge this technology, this plague, bring back peace."
How is her emotive state?
It's kind of intense.
Okay. Well, Purge, how are you going to be able to help them by arriving there?
She says, "Only when we are there can we begin the purge of this technology." And she repeats that again.
Why? Why are you needed for this purging?
I have to be there. I have to be on the surface.
But why you?
And with that, her eyes will open and they clear, and she will sort of look around the room, and it's like there's a blank. She's just been hit by the Men in Black. Was that Mind Zapper? Neuralizer. She looks around and says, "I'm sorry, I don't think I gave you anything useful."
Did I fall asleep?
Yes, did I
I
fall
was
asleep?
totally thinking that.
And she will basically be completely unaware of what she was saying and such while she was under.
Well, my initial recommendation there would be, logically, we're going to have recorded all of the babbling and start feeding that into the computers to see if we can get the translation matrix working.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder, does linguistics fall under science?
I believe it does. Or maybe it doesn't, and I just happen to have it.
Well,
Do you
if
have
you have
science
linguistics,
exclamation point? I do
Click
not
the wrong
see
button.
linguistics under science exclamation point.
okay, so there is a -5 to this roll, but I'm going to assume that you'll be taking extra time. So to get a success, you would have to
You didn't actually say what it was for.
to encourage the universal translator to translate.
Okay.
To,
Yeah,
like,
because I can
match
get the time spent and damn it,
Single-minded?
that
What does single-minded give you as a bonus?
another
+3, right?
Yeah, I think it was +3.
All right, so that would turn that into a success. Okay, so the universal translator will have a rudimentary understanding of this language. You would need to feed in a lot more data to get accurate, but it seems to work because science.
It has it at broken. Well, we have advanced our situation a little.
Well, if nothing further, you will come out of warp in system.
All right.
Plan blows up.
Can we? Well, let's do scans, and then we do have the capacity to send a probe, do we not?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. I want some Sputnik-looking thing ready to rock out of the ship.
All right, so you come to a moon. You arrive at a moon. This is a moon of a gas giant. The moon itself is quite large. It's larger than Earth's moon. So I think that's going to be like 1/4 gravity or something like that. It has a thick atmosphere. The clouds block most visual ability to view the surface of the planet. You do know that the atmosphere is toxic and will result in death unless people have appropriate environment suits.
What about the system in general?
The system in general appears to be mostly benign. The star is quite active, so you will see a number of solar prominences. Also, give me a electronics op sensors.
I've got it at 13.
Well, this is probably a Dallas job. Since it, oh wow!
Oh yeah,
And
Very much so.
I'm
He
going
sees
to waste
everything.
this now.
510, nice.
Okay, there's some assistance from Psylocke. He tunes the sensors appropriately.
So it's by 11. That's still crazy.
You will see that the surface
see
of
anything.
the planet is completely barren. There is not even microbial life. There's nothing like that.
It's a rock. No indigenous
But
life.
there is plenty indicating lots of technology. Like large portions of the surface of the planet seem to be covered with technology. As far as you can tell, most of it is in sort of low power mode, and you believe that its primary power source is the planet itself. So it's like somehow harnessing energy from the moon, harnessing energy from the moon in some way.
Didn't we do this already?
At least once, possibly thrice. So the planet is going to blow up at the end of this.
Of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
Although
not
without
together.
luck, I luck it'll be the star that'll blow up instead. Something's
Oh,
going to blow up.
Maybe it'll implode and suck us right in.
Well, you've
No,
destroyed 2
because
systems so far.
We've got a running track record. Something is going to blow up.
Okay, how is Casalandra doing now?
Okay, so you will leave the bridge and go visit, or are you bringing her up to the bridge?
Well, I think we'll bring her up to the bridge. Ash needs to stretch his legs and...
She's gone and Ash's head's been chopped off.
Well, if we're doing it that way, it's probably wise to also bring the admiral up as well.
Oh, no. We're not putting these two... No. We're not going to bring these two in the same room. That's... then my pet theory will be proven. No, she can sit in the brig.
Now. We have to test it.
Well, I think
No
we'll leave her in
than
the...
sending the entire command team on an away mission.
What are you talking
I
about?
think we'll leave...
That's operating procedure.
We'll leave her in the brig. I want to see Casalandra's reaction.
All right. So you will bring her to the bridge?
Yes.
Once you get her onto the bridge, you see that she looks at the viewport, and then she sort of walks around. I think we've got an actual map of the bridge, yes.
Yeah. Security's going to be ready to stun her if she tries to touch anything.
Probably put the tokens of Ash. Was it just Ash that was on security?
Yep.
Can you see her?
That's a negative.
You can't see that?
Nope.
Nope.
Now?
Yep.
There.
So she'll walk around to the front of the viewport. She'll stare at the viewport. She'll turn back to look at you, Captain, and she'll say, "That's it. I have to go there."
Is anything communicating to you at this moment?
It is not. And then it is about this time that automatic klaxons will go off. As the ship is rocked and hit by something. On the viewport, you can see sort of, high energy particles or whatever sort of surround the ship, and then everything seems to go dark, and then backup power turns on.
These writers of this show really like this trick, don't they?
It's the same writer.
Which is why
Apparently.
Dallas has brought his go bag up here just in case.
Yep, immediately begin working on damage assessment.
Yeah,
Need
so I'm just going to
restore
ask for
power.
a damage report, please.
All right, no need for a roll. But Dallas, you can report that it appears the ship has been hit by a very high magnitude coronal ejection or solar flare. What do they call it? CMB? Coronal mass
CME?
CME ejection?
Coronal mass ejection.
And it has basically caused all sorts of problems on the ship.
Right.
Well,
Time to get to work.
replace all those fuses. That means we just got hit with a radiation wave.
We didn't get shot through a wormhole that I know of.
Are you sure?
If Psylocke, could you please give me a mechanic starship roll?
Okay. Let's see. Mechanics, starship. Oh wait, that's not a starship. That's a high performance spacecraft.
I'm assuming
I
your
have
skills
I have
the
the
same.
drive. I don't, because you have to specialize. So I have the reactor. I have the shields, the warp drive,
Didn't
and
it
thrusters.
cover mechanic?
Your wild, that would still be a success on your wild card, right?
Yeah, for invention, anything that has to do with invention, that would be a 17 is my skill.
Okay, you will start doing some diagnostics and stuff, and there are a number of fuses and power converters and uplinks that have been blown. It is not a difficult job to address, but it is going to take time. You imagine that it'll be at least an hour, at least.
Where were we able to sense where the attack came from?
The star.
Yeah, that wasn't an attack. That was an environmental issue. Unless it was an attack.
Uh-huh.
Dun dun dun.
All right.
So it'll be at least an hour to effect all repairs. You are currently using backup power. You're able to maintain a safe orbit. It's just going to be time.
And
Do
because
we have,
Psylocke is a Vulcan, he can't use the Scotty principle.
Is it shields available?
You could probably use your shields, but doing so will drain your backup power faster.
I ask Casalandra, was that intentional? A message? An attack?
She looks at you and says, I don't know, I don't think so. I don't feel anything. All I know is that's where we're supposed to be. I have to get there.
I want to take a look at the screen of the brig where the Admiral is, and what do we see her doing?
She is talking to the security, or you can see that she's being very stern with the security, but still in the
We
brig.
totally have a Tellarite security officer down there because Tellarites love to argue.
But she's still secure in the brig.
Okay, good. I think now would be the time for us to go and have a little visit with the Admiral.
What is this we? We need to get the ship repaired, sir.
Captain,
yeah.
I'm going to recommend that we get a stationary orbit in the shadow of the planet away from the sun, just in case there's another.
Can we
Yes,
do that with the damage, though? I thought he said the power was out and we're just on backup.
Yes.
Right, well, it's a quarter gravity moon. Orbital velocity is going to be pretty low,
But you're still
Yeah, if
going
we
to be
can
in
establish-
orbit, though.
comparatively speaking.
Right.
You're in an orbit around the moon, not the planet.
Is there any way to just simply position the ship so we are, with the moon between us and the sun?
But we have no power.
You could if you had power, but you don't
Well, I
have
can try
power,
to
so
fix it.
you're in the process of just free falling in an orbit around the moon.
Okay. Well, then we'll allow our good engineers to do their work, and we're going to go and talk to the Admiral.
Point 1, all orbits are free fall. Point 2, Lagrange points. We just need
Point
to get to
3,
a Lagrange point.
Star Trek.
Okay, nerds. We're gonna we're gonna go down to talk to the admiral.
Will you bring Casalandra with you?
Yes.
All right. Well,
And that was the last we ever heard of the captain.
who's going? Just the captain?
No, I'm gonna take Lorian with me and this science officer. I presume Salak's gonna be busy engineering.
Well, if you want me to try to fix the drives or the power.
Would it not
Yes,
be more
indeed.
appropriate, sir, if I remained on the bridge and coordinated repairs?
You don't have to stay on the bridge to coordinate repairs. We're all heading downstairs to talk to the admiral. Downstairs.
It's like an away mission.
All right. So once you get to security, you will hear that the admiral and the Tellarite security officer are sort of arguing about what's going on.
Are they arguing or flirting?
Well, who knows? They're arguing, and the admiral is trying to pull rank, saying, I'm an admiral. I need to know what's going on. And the Tellarite's just saying, shut your face.
Diplomatically.
All right.
Well, maybe not diplomatically.
She says, thank God you're here, Captain. What happened? Are we under attack?
Undetermined at this point, Admiral. And I'll walk over to the doodad that drops the security screen and drop it. Or open the door. Or whatever we do.
Okay, you drop the doodad?
Yep.
Actually, do they have force fields in TOS in the brig? I don't recall.
I think they probably just had a door.
Well, whatever it is, you open it.
Yeah. Come on out, Admiral. Let's have a conversation.
About time, Captain. She will acknowledge Casalandra, and Casalandra will say, I hope you're well, Admiral. And the Admiral will reply, I could be better. It has been a long time since I've spent time in the brig. Captain, you should talk to your Lorian's there. So she'll say, your first officer could certainly forward some respect to this rank, even though he does not respect myself.
Yes. Well, Starfleet did not give us any indication of having you released from the brig. And that is evidence enough in my mind that they are concerned about your capacity to be in command. And so I'm doing this out of a gesture of goodwill towards you, Admiral.
She will sigh and say, well, as I've mentioned to you already, Starfleet has been compromised. You cannot trust anyone.
And that applies to you.
You should not trust myself.
Yes. Well, we're going to get to the bottom of this, one way or the other. So there is an alien technology on the surface of this moon. We believe it's being powered from the moon itself in some way. We are going to go down to the surface of this moon, all of us, to further explore this link that Casalandra has with the moon. And we are going to do this forthwith. And what I want from my team is their best advice before we launch. Lorian, get over here. Stop fiddling with buttons on the wall.
Brownouts persist on D-deck, sir.
Thank you.
Can I get an engineer or mechanic starship, your inventor roll, please? This will be a roll to see how well you affect the repairs of the ship. What are these things? Okay, so they did have 4 screens in the brig. FX, can Psylocke give me an inventor roll, please, to do your repairs?
Yes. Should I do, well, it's the same level, but mechanic.
Nope, it's
reactor.
Inventor's fine.
Success by 6.
Okay, so you will eventually get this ship operational, and it's going to take you at a little over an hour, probably an hour 15.
Excellent.
This is
Plenty of time
this
to
is
get to the
what
surface.
this is what it's going to take you to get the ship all back online. However,
Excellent.
Casalandra, while you're standing there in the brig, Casalandra will you see her eyes sort of glaze over, and then she begins to start speaking in tongues.
Have we been able to get any advancement on the linguistic translation here?
You do have some?
Yeah, so we should be able to translate some of it at least.
What is she saying?
She says, "This isn't right. This isn't right." And she'll repeat, "Purge the lightning. Purge, purge, purge. No, it's too early." And then she will materialize and is transported away. It is about this time that through the intercom you will hear, "Bridge to captain. A power surge has been detected on the surface and it looks like a transporter."
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
She was not wearing an environment suit.
No, she was not.
She's going to be perfectly fine.
Of course she is.
No, that
We
means
are going
they've got
down.
Environment. They've got a suitable environment inside the planet, probably.
That or she's rematerialized in the middle of rock. We are going down to the surface. We are going after her. We are going to be wearing our best protective gear. We're going to be going down in our cool 60s style shuttle.
All right, Are you going to take the entire crew?
I'm taking all the PCs.
All of them. All of them.
We're going to take
Sorry,
Ash.
I mean the PCs.
Oh, yes. All of us are going because Psylocke, we need his Vulcan brain down there. Because I presume the shuttle will experience some sort of a problem. And we're taking Ash, and we're taking... Let's take 3 more red shirts. That sounds about right.
Oh,
All right, so
this
three
is a
red
3
shirts.
red shirt mission.
Along with Ash.
And I assume that you're going to take the doctor as well.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, let me make sure that I've got group initiatives for the red shirts.
Why do we need that?
Go into the surface, and we're gonna get zapped.
All right, so you will board the shuttle and begin to head to the surface. Oh, and you don't have Casalandra.
Why do we not have her?
Casalandra, because she got transported.
Oh, I must have missed that when I was AFK.
She got transported.
All right. So we're going to the evil, horrible planet.
We are.
How would you
Right.
like the Admiral to be marked on the tracker? Green, neutral, or red?
Ooh, I'm voting for neutral.
We're bringing her?
Of course. You know that at some point there's going to be a juncture where she's going to be like vaporized.
That's true. If she suddenly
Easy.
gets taken over, she'll just walk right through the disintegration field.
And easy way to get rid of an Admiral.
Yeah, because that won't ruin your career.
And as we all know, you have to kill an admiral every now and again to encourage the others.
happens
Are
if-
we having an NPC fly the shuttle, or is one of the PCs going to do it?
That is a menial
Ooh.
task for
I
NPCs.
can actually fly the shuttle, but I'm not super great at it.
I've gotten 11, so it shouldn't be me.
Ditto. Like I said, not super great at it.
Let's see, piloting. Well, your red shirts don't have piloting ability at all.
All right, I'll crash this.
Can I
don't
help
think
him
it's gonna
crash
be
us?
I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I mean, they're going to have, they're going to have the bonus, the handling. Okay, guess not.
Well, it's
Handling
also
0,
probably
but you've got
routine.
+4 stability. Yeah, I'm just crit hunting here.
And is this a routine task?
You could consider it routine, yes.
Until we enter the atmosphere, and then all hell breaks loose.
Dive by 7. Damn, I
Nicely
didn't
done.
need more.
All right, you will begin to pilot the shuttle to the surface, to the location or towards the location where the energy or transporter surge originated from. Going through the atmosphere is a bumpy ride. and visibility is pretty bad until you break through the cloud layer. Very reminiscent of the dropship thing in Aliens.
So we're going to be in environment suits.
Yes.
You will be in environment suits. So everyone can make a vac suit roll. Nice.
While we're on descent, I am going to task the science team to do a trace on the transporter.
By 3. Uh-oh. The captain is
It's
doing
routine,
it wrong.
so he gets a +1 anyway. +4 anyway.
I routinely rip a hole in my vac suit.
We'll need a roll from Psylocke as well.
For me, okay.
Vac suit at +4.
All right, so success by 4 if you add the +4.
All right, so you will vac suit up properly. You got their helmet on the right way and everything.
Hopefully he knows how to do that by now.
Well,
From memory, I think your suits give you 2 hours of oxygen.
I don't know. What are the actual? I mean, what is it in terms of probably Ultratech?
It'll be environment suit. From memory, I think it's 2 hours, but that's okay. You're not going to need 2 hours. I'm pretty sure you'll die before then.
Sweet.
That's the spirit.
The only environment suit they have is a desert environment suit. They've got expedition suits, but those are civilian. Wait, I'm looking in Ultratech. This should probably be in Prime Directive, shouldn't it?
It'll
It
probably
is
be
also
in Prime Directive.
And I don't have the new one. So
Did you not?
somebody else. No, I thought I did, but when I opened it up, the darn thing was the old one, and I'm like, well, what's going on there?
In any
I was
case,
trying to see if they had betazoids in there.
your environment suit oxygen supply will be sufficient for plot. I'm sure it'll start to get low at a suitably dramatic point.
Well, as long as we don't have to drag several nukes across the entire planet and keep pushing a button every 5 seconds, we should be fine. While the Lexington is chasing the moon as it's hurtling through space.
All right, well, you will land after a bumpy ride on the surface close to the location where the energy surge originated from. When you exit the shuttle, you're confronted with a desolate scene. There is absolutely no life, either alive or dead. The remnants of city is visible, and it occupies a large portion of the landscape. And it's almost like the surface of the moon itself is also part of the construction. Kind of like the whole planet is like a metallic alien city.
Yeah, we landed on Cybertron.
Sweet.
That's a good analogy.
Right. So, as indicated, I immediately broke out my tactical sensors to do my sweep to see if I can detect and ID life forms, weapons, and/or armor. And I margin critted that bad boy by 10.
Okay, you will detect something within a structure up ahead of you. That seems to be a concentration of power. You will also detect, you'll see these like vines, like metallic type vines that seem to pulsate and vibrate, and some of them seem to move on their own very slowly. They grow and shrink, and they just sort of move around at a sort of snail's pace.
Watch out
And
for vomit zombies.
You suspect that these vines are like biomechanical.
Yep. Definitely watch out for vomit zombies.
I turn to the Admiral. Now, Admiral, thoughts?
Life signs detected in that direction, sir.
Excellent. Thoughts,
The Admiral will say, I'm as much of a loss here as you are, but I suggest we go find Castellandra Pruitt. She is key to everything here. we should be careful. I do not trust this, and I believe everything around us here is a threat, and a threat to the Federation.
Yes, and there's a good deduction. However, my mission is science-based, and I find this absolutely fascinating.
Perhaps we should take samples. We might need it in future.
Fear
Oh,
not,
yes.
Admiral. Every time we've run across one of these things, it's ended up blowing up.
Yeah, I also envision her saying, she's like addressing the captain, like, perhaps we should take samples. And if you look, Dallas has already got like these bulging packs at his side as he's going,
Yeah.
taking that too.
Now he looks like Maturon on Galapagos on the way back to the ship.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, we're going to proceed to where the sensor reading shows life forms.
To the security people, it's like, stay alert.
They will stay alert. Dallas, you will notice as you're taking samples, like these vines, you will cut one of the samples, and when you cut the sample, it's kind of like a worm, where if you cut a worm in half, you get two halves of a worm, and they both sort of wriggle. So the sample that you've got wriggles for a bit, and then
What happens if you push them, the two cut parts back together?
if you try that, you will see they will refuse.
Refuse to what?
Stay apart.
Way to hurt one of the little children of whatever Cthulhu-like monster is inhabiting this planet.
But you do see when you do cut the sample, it does react. So you're not sure if it's like a pain response or a damage response or something like that, but it does seem to react.
So noted.
Okay. However, you also notice when using your tricorder that trying to get scans on some of the things here just comes back with, unidentifiable technology error, unknown for some things. So there's obviously materials, elements here, or compounds, alloys that the tricorder is not able to sort of piece together, which is similar to that which you've already experienced before.
Saying these readings shouldn't be possible in Star Trek sort of loses its exclamation point after a while.
Very true.
I guess if you knew about the Borg, this would probably be very Borg-like. All right, so you progress to the structure that seems to hold this this power source. You stand before a series of pentagonal doors. These doors are closed, and they are also sort of shrouded by these vines that have sort of grown over it. Think of like an apocalyptic world where the vegetation is overgrown. Well, these vines seem to have overgrown these doors. Can I get perception rolls or observation rolls from people? If you have the tracking skill, you are welcome to make that roll as well.
Sadly, I do not. By 6 on the perception.
Wow.
Hello.
Wow.
Everybody gets a crit today.
Critical success by the captain. Heading into this pentagonal door, you can see that there is a clear set of fairly fresh human-shaped footprints.
Take some quick measurements and estimate the size, weight, gender.
Why not just do a science scan to try to detect DNA?
You can't do that.
Well, you can give me a science that will basically cover what you're trying to do.
See?
Doing your calculations and mental gymnastics and such, you could fairly confidently assume that these footprints were made by someone of the size and build of Casalandra.
Does the gait suggest that she was suffering at the time, or more
does
casual?
Not. it seems to be casual.
I'm going to double check my atmosphere readings then.
Your atmosphere readings confirm that this environment is toxic.
Again, with the senselessness.
Very well.
Shall we
Does
knock,
anybody have
sir?
traps? Does anybody have traps? Knock? I suppose we could do that, yes?
Bunk, 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 bunk.
I don't have traps.
Yeah, I
You
was
knock.
just checking. I don't have that either.
You knock, and no eyeball pokes through the door.
That's downright disappointing.
Vine comes out, wraps itself around Lorian, and pops his head off?
Why me?
Well, you cut the vine.
No, I didn't. I asked Lieutenant Commander Dallas what happened if he did that. He was the one that cut the vines.
Oh, it's his head that pops off.
Okay.
I was very polite about that.
However, there is no response to, or the door does not open after knocking or anything like that. But you will see that the vines that sort of shroud this door begin to morph slightly and develop some very sharp edges.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you be
Interesting.
nice. We're friendly.
Interesting.
We come in peace. Like rotating my selector switch to semi. Watching
Can we...
my lane.
You've never seen these vines move fast or anything like that. So, if you had to push past them, you probably could, but they do move, very slowly.
Mr. Dallas, can we somehow use our knowledge of the language that we've translated? Can we somehow speak to these vines in whatever language she was speaking?
It's a fair thing we could try. I will broadcast a please open this door and allow us entry, or the nearest approximation to that in as much of the language as we have the ability to transmit.
This is where a critical fail is going to be sweet.
Okay, well, you will try that and nothing happens. We'll also go off your previous perception roll. Actually, no, I'll get new perception rolls, please.
By 0.
By 5.
By 3.
All right, so those of you that have succeeded, you can give me an IQ roll. So you notice some elements of the door structure seem to be, or the design seems to be a little bit different. If you succeed the IQ roll, you will be able to ascertain that there is a control panel, or the sections of this wall seem to be a control panel. When you move to it and sort of get close and sort of hover your hand over it, it begins to morph, and you have some like buttons or access buttons. Who's going to touch it? Who's going to touch it?
Mr. Lorian, go over there and fiddle with those dials.
I will definitely go over there to examine them. Not fiddling with it though. Not
It's
not gonna
design.
inject me.
There's no vines that sort of cover this door panel, or this hidden door panel. The design seems to be fairly intuitive, and there's a button that clearly looks like this is the open button. You press it.
I will press that button because it's really dumb of us, and Star Trek is nothing but dumb.
And the doors will open, and the vines will sort of move to cover the access of the door slowly. Now, the way we're going to do this is you can make dex or acrobatics rolls. If you have escape, I guess you could use that as well to negotiate or enter this doorway and do so without the vines tagging you. However, you can only really do this sort of one person at a time, as you have to find the gaps, and it's going to be progressively harder as people go through.
Or we could cut the vines.
Or you could cut the vines.
Well, just give me a second here. All right, I hold back as opposed to blustering forward.
All right, so Lorian, you managed to negotiate the vines. You clear the gap, but you can see the gap is slowly closing.
The gap is closing.
Who is next? Or are you going to cut the vines?
I think we ought to try it.
Or
Set to low power. It didn't take a whole lot to cut the vines before.
Or is there potentially a prime directive thing happening here, since these vines appear to be biomechanical?
But they don't appear to be sapient.
Well, Admiral, after you.
Shove.
All right, the Admiral has got through. Now it is going to be at a -1.
All right, I have a dex of 12. What does the doctor have?
Sir, if I may. You there, red shirt. Target there, I'll target here. Set to low power. Let's see if we can cut these things off.
All right. Red shirt will
It's
pull
gonna
out
make it
phaser.
It's going to make it instantly worse.
Yep. It's going to close up on the Admiral and Lorian, who don't like each other at all.
With your phasers, you will fire at these locations at low power. The power at first is not enough to cut, but you do see that the vines seem to recoil as if in pain.
Sorry.
All right. Well, if no one else is going, are we still at a -1?
If you soon as you stop doing this, though, the vines will begin to close in again.
Okay. Well, we'll try to shuttle everybody through and get through before it closes again.
All right. Dex rolls. All right, Ramus, you're through. I'll roll the doctor.
Shoot.
The doctor will get nicked. What's the DR of the first cutting on a Starfleet uniform?
It's not hitting the Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, we have the environment suits first.
Right. What's the DR of those?
I don't know. But the DR of the Starfleet uniform is 8 versus cutting. It's only
Right, so
2
it's gonna be
versus
fine.
impaling.
Standard
I
vac suit
assumed
has
that-
DR1.
I assume that your environment suit's going to be a little bit more than that.
If it's heavy duty, it's got DR3.
If it's military, it should be armored.
If it's armored, it has DR30. That is a rigid suit, which may be appropriate.
Okay, let's do this. The Admiral's environment suit seems to protect sufficient. Not the Admiral. Dr. Jones's environment suit seems to protect sufficiently. Red shirt Ash will go through.
So do we have the military grade or no?
I'm not sure if they're going to be armored. Starfleet's not a. It's paramilitary. You're not expected to combat in environment suits.
Let's see. Military rank structure, military uniforms, does the job of the military, but they're not the military. Right.
Just repeat exactly what you just said, and then say military grade. Oh, lowest bidder. Ouch.
All right, Psylocke, your environment suit will indicate that you have a small leak.
You're going to die. That's going to be tragic. No!
Red shirt 2 has a bigger leak.
Captain, I have sustained injuries to my, what is this called again? Air vac suit.
Your vac
I
suit.
must
Did-
stop for repairs.
Do these things like self-seal again or something?
I'm not sure. Have a look in Ultratech.
Oh, we just got something dropped in chat. 3 seconds in a vac suit roll. So there you go.
Okay. Make a vac suit roll.
All right, hold on.
Okay. Red shirt manages Patchy's suit. Who has yet to squeeze through?
Dallas and the last red shirt should be the last to go.
Oh, no.
Okie dokie. You just stuck your finger in all.
Awesome.
Rip!
All right, so cumulative attempts are at -1.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like I make the second roll. So it takes me about, what, 6 seconds? And I lost 10% of air or
Yeah,
20% of air.
total.
Yeah, but he had the critical failures, so you may bump that up to like 40%.
But we have plot tanks, so that's only 20% less of plot. It's like 0.8 plots.
Yeah, so you're the one that's going to be running low when oxygen becomes critical.
Luckily, Vulcan is a relatively low oxygen planet. In fact, that's one of the problems that both Lorian and Psylocke deal with on the Earth ship is it's like breathing soup.
So the
Right.
red shirt made it through, but managed to fix his stuff. And Dallas, you will make it through. The vines will then eventually cover the entrance, and it becomes apparent to you that escape is impossible without causing these or clearing these vines. Or you could just rush through them and, cut your suits up.
Nah, it just wants us to go inside further.
No, we just have Psylocke build a little cage for us to go through.
Time 2 hours. All right, your tricorders and such will be mostly useless here. Anything sort of beyond your line of sight, your tricorder scans drop off really quickly. You find yourself in a pentagonal corridor that leads into the depths of this building. Assuming you will move forward.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The first thing that you will notice is there's these vines that sort of grow in this place as well. They slowly move and writhe, which is like awfully creepy. And you'll come across the skeletal remains of a humanoid creature. Definitely not human.
Doc will probably check it for DNA.
It is sort of wrapped in these vines. They sort of grow through the rib cage, around the spine, and out the eyeballs. The Admiral says, Commander Dallas, if that is our alien friends, you should get some samples of that.
That's her job.
Yeah, it's true. Dr. Jones is probably already doing that.
True. She would have directed that to the doctor.
Who's like in the process of doing it and just gives her that look. Like, yes, ma'am.
The Admiral will sort of crouch down and look over this creature and say, is there anything that you can tell of our potential enemy from this skeleton?
Or potential first contact.
Yes, Admiral. I agree with my first officer. There's no need to think that we are dealing with an enemy.
If this is indeed the other race, then they're clearly no more welcome here than we are.
Let's allow our scientific research to lead us to conclusions.
All right. I'll do a senses roll for the doctor.
Noise! Noise!
Where's this tricorder sound?
I actually have the medical tricorder sound.
That's better.
Wow.
You know where you really needed that? The Aliens one shot. You needed the motion tracker sound.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. But I have the soundboard now, so the Aliens Redux might just have that. All right, the doctor will say the skeleton is organic, but it appears that elements of the structure of this skeleton have been replaced by these biomechanical compounds. She says, I'm not sure if this happened before or after death, but it appears that this creature is possibly not entirely human.
Well, if it's an alien,
not entirely organic.
Yeah. Is it related to those other aliens we encountered that were not entirely organic?
Nope.
Right, those guys. The constructs.
They were manufactured. This is definitely not those. Different look to them. And yeah, they were organic, but they were manufactured. This is not doesn't seem to be the case.
Right.
And she will rattle off some statistics about the DNA. This DNA incorporates, phase triple helix technobabble stuff. I'm sure Dallas has a technobabble site that he can look up relating to the DNA.
That's not my job.
But the doctor will say, but Admiral, this skeleton has been here for a very long time.
Can you estimate how long, Doctor?
If I was to take a guess, I would say this is pre-Earth civilization. Older than ourselves. At least 10,000 years or more.
That's when the Vulcans were trying to kill one another using nuclear weapons. Actually, I'm not sure if that's accurate. I have to double check again.
Very well.
And the doctor will say, the doctor will sort of finish as she stands up with her samples, and she says, and I'm not entirely sure if it's completely dead.
Doo-doo! What do you mean, Doctor?
Well, these biomechanical compounds that infuse the skeleton, I believe that they are still alive.
Like the cells are still alive.
Exactly, Commander Dallas.
Some sort of a stasis?
I don't think it's stasis. I think they are just very long-lived, perhaps immortal. At least the inorganic parts.
Interesting.
Immortality? That's ridiculous.
We must press on. The tracks of Casalandra, can we continue to follow them?
Inside the place, you do not see the tracks, but you can sort of detect the power source, or what appears to be something that's emanating power.
Well, let's press forward.
So you'll negotiate these corridors, and you'll pass by some rooms that certainly have archaeological interest and value to them. Those with curious will have to make a roll.
Oh.
Yay! I remembered my job.
Make a roll or what?
Or find yourself wanting to investigate this instead of pressing forward.
I believe there was only one of us that didn't have it.
Hey, we're Starfleet officers. We're supposed to be curious.
Well, if you have curious...
Yeah, so we stop at every one of these things and somebody has to say, come on, let's go.
Well, it'll be me, because I don't have curious.
And I made mine.
I have impulsive.
I don't have curious either.
Yeah, I guess it's just me.
No, Dallas has it, and I'm pretty sure the doc has it.
No time for that. Need to continue moving forward.
All right, give me a leadership roll.
Alrighty.
Lorian pushes people on, despite the very interesting stuff that is here.
If we can resolve this without the planet exploding or the moon exploding, we can come back and examine those more closely.
There is a lot to be learned here. Anytime you come across something that could be of strategic value, the Admiral suggests get scans and samples of this. But eventually, you will find yourselves heading into a large chamber.
Seen this before.
Yep. Those of us that have survived the planets or moons or whatever exploding are totally super tense right now. Like, oh, crap.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we've got about an hour and a half before the planet blows up.
Uh-oh.
Did we use this one already?
That's a lot of hexes.
No. You're free to move yourselves around there on the stairs.
Where's the safe point?
Well, don't leave the stairs yet. So you can go to the bottom of the stairs. Feel free to locate your red shirts as well.
Oh, no. Do they go in front or in the back?
I put Ash in the front.
Not there. He said don't leave the stairs.
I guess the red shirts always end up wherever the ambush is.
We're missing the Admiral.
Are we though?
Are we though? Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, are we really though?
She's not there?
Nope. Now she's there.
Is it just not showing that they're invisible?
It's hard to see.
Do we see Castellandra over where you've located her?
I'll make her grey. You do.
Okay.
I have an image for you.
Dun dun dun.
Vines protruding out of her mouth and eye sockets.
And she's going to be okay. That's not. I was sort of thinking more, although that's pretty close. I was thinking more Julie from Expanse.
It's close. Okay, there seems to be a massive cabling that sort of goes right through this room. There's those twisted vines and such. There's in the center of the room, there's a large sort of twisted ball of these cables and vines. And some of them, as you can see here in the image, they grow out from that center piece. There are no, excuse me, just need to take a drink. There are no controls or anything like that in the center piece, but there are controls that sort of are around the outsides, as you can see there.
Any of that familiar?
Familiar-ish, yes. As to what they do, you're not sure.
Like similar symbology and that sort of thing.
Correct. There is a thrumming that sort of emanates from this place. You can see Pruitt's face. She has an outstretched arm to you. She will make eye contact with you guys, and she mouths the words, "Help me."
So we shoot her. That's a joke, by the way.
All right. And you said our tricorder is not able to work now?
No, your tricorders work, but it's only sort of line of sight. The structure seems to block things, much past it.
Okay, well.
Okay. Are these vines moving?
They writhe slowly like all the other vines that you've seen.
Interesting.
I wonder if there's a rhyme or reason to the writhing.
It's almost like they're alive.
At any rate, we have to go help her while security and Lorian are continuing to keep weapons ready to shoot at whatever alien inevitably appears on these hexagonal grid things that are on the ground.
What, looking up to the ceiling, what do we see?
I'm glad you asked.
4 mysterious figures looking down and a 5th telling them what's happening.
You will look up to the ceiling and you will see that there's these holes in the ceiling, pentagonal shaped holes that sort of open. They're quite large, a few meters across sort of thing. They will open into the room as if they're maybe venting or something like that. They're not level, so they enter the room sort of at an angle, and you can see emerging from one of these holes is this.
It's a xenomorph, isn't it? Oh no, it's a biomechanical spider instead. Great.
Yeah, kind of the same.
It has one large red eye, which sort of darts about as it's sort of looking at you guys below. It will emerge quietly from one of these holes and starts down towards you.
Code name? Sheila.
How big did you say he was?
These are size modifier 2, so that puts them like 3 to 5 yards across.
Did you say these or just this one and only one spider?
Uh-huh.
Well, there was several holes.
What is
But
this?
you only see one at this point. I don't know. A bit of structure. It serves a purpose. I'm sure it's important.
All right. It's not like a massive salt lick, is it?
No.
Well, what if it is?
See, I'm mostly disappointed that Runke's AI biomechanical spider doesn't look like something that would be in the original series. It's too advanced looking.
That's true.
Damn it. I should have actually used the
What would that look
keywords
like?
in the late 60s style.
Just downright disappointed.
Okay.
Let me get this on the map.
Mr. Dawlish, can you use that translator to ask a question as to why did you bring this human being here over vast distances of space to only entrap her?
That might be a little more complex than we could probably pull off, but we could try.
All right, so let's do this for the first time. I will get all the PCs to... actually, don't roll for initiative yet. Let me do the red shirts first.
Why don't the red shirts go last?
I'm gonna roll, but then I need to grab another coffee before
Sweet.
combat.
That worked. So even your friendly red shirts did rolls. Okay, now you guys can roll.
So you can set the neutral color?
Yes, you can. You
Is
can
it just
set...
one, or is it multiple neutrals?
There's only one neutral. There's off, neutral, hostile, and friendly.
But you can change the colors. Interesting.
Neutral is grey.
Yeah, I can't see me ever using this initiative thing.
I don't think I'll use it either.
I think it needs just a tad bit more variability.
Well, if you think most of your basic speeds are similar anyway.
Well, I mean, some people build for speed and they might have like a 7.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily want a guy with a 5 to come before the guy with the 10. So
Oh no, I don't care. I'm just saying to have an initiative roller, you want to have a little more, variable. I don't know if variability is the right word or not, but
yeah, I'm assuming the current functionality isn't meant to necessarily completely throw the normal initiative order out of whack, just to provide some variability to what's already there. Of course, if everybody rolls the same, it doesn't matter.
The guy that originally requested the feature, he wanted a D4, just a straight plus D4. But I added a D6, and then I also added the D4 times 1.25. Sorry, D4 times 0.25 and D6 times 0.25, so that the variability is less.
Anywho.
So in this case, I think because of the rolls, Dallas is first, whereas Lorian would have normally gone first.
Yep.
Okay. This thing proceeds slowly down the wall, looking at you guys, its eye like scanning you very intensely.
Did we get any effect from that translator attempt?
None. There was no response at all.
So the spider isn't actually doing anything?
Not yet. It appears to be approaching you.
Is it not doing anything, or is it approaching?
Just approaching. It's not doing anything except approach.
Okay. So we know that the vines respond to injury. I am going to try a stun on the vines and see if it'll let her go. Do I need to roll that?
Nope.
So I've got the phaser 2, and I'm just going to start with a stun 1 and see if it works.
You will fire your phaser. The vines... Actually...
Perfect.
The vines will release a little bit, and then they seem to constrict tighter. This seems to cause Cassandra some discomfort.
Right. Oh, yeah. I got to do the thing.
I am aiming at the big spider.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to ready my weapon.
If you didn't have it ready.
Weapon out.
Well, it makes sense for the security guys to have them all out, but I can totally see the non-security guys presuming, "Hey, I've got other things to do."
Every time we've come into one of these things, we've been attacked.
I know, but that's sort of like a
remember.
metagaming thing. I don't know. Yeah. I think he may have had like his tricorder out, trying to do his engineering shit, and like, oh no, we're being attacked again. Let me put my tricorder away and draw my blaster, phaser.
Yeah, he pulls
Does that
out a
sound
Star
reasonable?
Wars blaster.
So that's what he'll do.
Okay. Cassandra. I skipped.
So the captain, of course, as he has his phaser at hand, looks up plaintively in very Kirkian style and says, "What is it you want from us? We came here in peace. Release her. What do you want?"
And I will skip Jones. She will just be AFK in the background unless she's needed for something in particular. What are your instructions for the red shirts?
Well,
Fire first.
yeah, I think they'll take weight maneuvers, and if there is an attack on them or one of us, I think they will respond in kind.
Okay, so they will, I guess, take aims. The admiral, being a typical admiral, will step to the back of the group so that she's protected by her meat shields.
At which point, another spider will lunge out of the ceiling, grab her, and take her up. We couldn't do anything about it. Sorry.
Maybe they don't show up on infrared at all.
Let's see if I can organize these images. 1 sec. Okay. I'm actually going to make that spider bigger. Looks more menacing that way. Wow.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I like that one.
It's about to self-destruct and attack us with rainbows.
All right, it clambers down the wall and gets to the bottom, still heading towards you guys.
Let's see. We've been attacked by rat things, monkey things, dog things, slug things,
And
now
robo
spider
spiders.
things.
This episode was very badly written.
So Dallas is going to recognize that the phaser stun seemed to have worked slightly. So at this point, what we really need to do is grab her and stun the vines and pull her free. So I think Dallas at this point is going to rush forward. Where is she specifically?
Can you see her over there?
Oh, she's way over there.
Yes.
Damn it. Well, I guess it's going to take a minute. Dallas is normally a little more cautious than this. He's going to be somewhat careful in his running, but he is going to run. So this is our one shot.
Well, take your move.
Yeah, I got to remember what my damn move is. Been a while since I've had to move it. It's only 5. Yeah, this is going to take a little while. Okay. I think I can get about that far.
So you're stepping in front of me as I'm aiming.
Oh, well, I can't tell where everybody's oriented.
Oh, let me fix it.
You're running?
Well, it's all we got to do. I don't know what else to do.
Ash, stick with him.
What did the captain say?
Well, the captain has pled to the heavens. That's all the captain's done so far.
So I'm doing a number of things. Free action. I had seen that Dallas is starting to sprint, and probably he's like, "I'm going to go for the doctor, or for what's her face." I'm going to shout for Ash to stick with him while taking a step and continuing to aim.
All right, so
Aim 2.
Well, at this point, okay, he's gonna aim. He'll step and aim. Let's see, there. As he notices Gigerman running for his life.
To be fair, he is running toward the danger, not away from it.
Oh, you're running towards it?
Can you advance the track, please, if you're done?
I'm not done. I'm trying to see I'm looking at the map, just trying to see, because I see the blue arrow. Is that where Commander Dallas is running?
That
Yes.
is where he is running to, yes.
You can see the arrow is pointing to Cassalandra's token.
Okay. All right. Then I'm done. Let me advance.
Ramius is going to run towards Cassalandras.
You people have no sense of what you're not supposed to do when someone's aiming.
Okay, so red shirt 1, who did you want to go with?
Said Ash go with him.
Okay, Ash. All right, so red shirt 1 will keep aiming until told to engage.
So, no, they will, again, if someone attacks them or attacks the team, they are going to fire back.
Right, okay. So they're waiting.
Nope, they're still aiming.
All right, so Ash will basically move with Dallas.
I want another spider to grab the admiral.
Don't worry. I'm sure that's not going to happen. Maybe.
I mean, we do have 2 red shirts who are present who could die horribly. It's a pity they're wearing blue on the things. I wish that was a red circle, not a blue circle.
Yeah, unfortunately, the tokens come in their own colors. Okay.
Why is it glowy?
Let me
It's
fix
the
it.
token
Let me
indicator.
fix it.
I think it looks cool.
That's the one I normally use.
Oh,
It just indicates
can
that
barely see it.
it's turn. So you're not seeing.
Well, the
Can
token is
barely
bigger than
see
the token is bigger than the indicator.
It's all good.
I liked the sparkly. It's gonna, vomit rainbows on us. Look around it. It's funny.
Too bad it got serious, as it will target a red shirt.
There's gonna be an evil red beam coming from that eye, isn't there?
Nope. It seems to spit forth a cable or a spider silk cable.
Is it an evil cable?
It is evil. It's heading straight for red shirt.
Well, that would trigger their weights, I think.
It would. Damn it. So that range is. I suppose we can use actual ranges now. What sort of weapons would the red shirts have been armed with?
Phaser
On this
2 at
one,
the very least.
Yeah, at the very least 2. But since we're going on this stuff, we run into this crap. The Lorian would have probably equipped the security guys with a rifle.
Yeah, I think they would have rifles.
Righto. And what level of kill, stun, or disintegrate?
What's the default?
I think the default's probably stun.
Well,
Yeah.
start with stun.
Possibly.
But I mean, the minute someone is actually injured, I think they would just switch to disintegrate and kill.
Lorian's former Marine. He has to remember to set it to stun.
Yeah, I think this as soon as the spider came out and started behaving in a hostile manner, it'd probably come off a stun.
Yeah, it's like it appears you go, ugh, rotate it to kill, and then it's like getting closer, and you're going, I'm getting more creeped out. Now it's on disintegrate.
We were being nice before the spider showed up.
All right, so he fires at the spider with stun. He will hit. So rate of fire of 5. So he succeeds by after that's 5 hits.
Yeah, it says it right there. 5 hits.
Yeah, well, that's -4 range. I didn't actually put that in. So this is at -1. Okay, this spider will appear to have been stunned. It will sort of fall to the ground, and it is sort of writhing, and it's not like unconscious, but it is still affected by the stun. So it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn it, record this. Alright, so the next red shirt will fire. Will also hit by 5. Alright, it is stunned further, but still moves.
Right. Well, that answers my question.
It will take me 5 rounds, not including this one, to get to her. This is round 1. Well, 2 technically. Ish. Moving.
Right. So it was clearly aggressive, and it still twitching. So he's going to take a step. Lorian is going to take a step and fire. And he ain't pussyfooting around. 5 possible hits on the glowy red light thing.
So you're hitting its eye thing.
Yeah, the face. Because that's basically the face.
Do your damages.
23 armor divisor 3 for the first one. 17. And man, all these ones. 24. 17 again. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Last one. Because I know Brian loves it when I do this.
You have a terrible misunderstanding when it comes to the term love.
Don't we all?
So much damage.
Pew, 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 pew.
This is panic fire.
I ain't panic fire.
Well, the red shirts are panic fire.
Alright, -3 times hit points.
Is it a spider mook?
It's a lot of rolls.
Wow.
It
Can
does
I
not
use,
die, but but it will remain stunned.
Can I use Lieutenant Jones' shoulder to brace my weapon?
Technically, you could.
So I'm assuming she's close enough I could just fire next to her. And
Are you using a phaser too?
yes.
Since that's quote unquote a pistol, technically you can brace just by holding it with two hands.
With two hands, yeah. Well, he is going to fire. Let me
Well, do your thing.
trying to look at my modifiers. I always have a hard time putting multiple modifiers in. So I got a -4 for the range, and then a +5 for accuracy, which I don't. It's not. Now it says -45. I was trying to add a 5.
Just click on it, hit delete.
All right, so -4, and then what? Enter. Okay, 5.
Or you can just do it old school and roll the dice and work it out from there.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. Because I don't have my modifiers on my combat sheet for some reason.
Yeah, I think something happened to your character when you came in.
I rolled a 6. It says success by 9. I'm not sure if I did it right.
That's going to be a lot higher because you're going to have. Wait, did you aim?
I did a 5. It's not in there.
Well,
It's
you got
showing us
14 plus
+1.
1, it shows.
That's all. After all the numbers I just typed in. So it should have been a -4 for the range, a +2 for the size, +5 for the aim, +1 for bracing, +1 for all-out attack.
All right. So
anyways, I think I hit.
what's the rate of fire on?
Rate of fire 3.
All right. So
Yeah, you hit all 3 then.
So 3 potential hits.
yes, all 3 hit.
So 5. Oh, that sucks. What is that? 5, 2, and 6.
Well, it's got. Does that not have an armor
It's a
divisor on it?
It's armored advisor of 3.
It's not showing on the output.
Because he used kill, not disintegrate. Disintegrate's the only one with armor divisor 3.
Oh, did I roll the wrong one?
Yeah.
Yep. Disintegrate.
Death roll.
Yeah. Yep.
It's still hanging in there.
Well, then I guess I should have meant I fat fingered to switch.
It happens.
I thought it had so where's my stun setting on there? I don't see it. Anyways, I don't know what's going on. I would have tried to do maximum effect.
Maximum effect is disintegrate, which is
Kill just sounded a lot worse. Kill 2.
is 4d -3.
Is it?
Because I've already done the math
yeah.
on it. For some reason, your phaser is lagged out and will be on disintegrate next turn.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds good.
All right, Ramius just keeps running towards the woman.
Damn, you passed me up.
Yep.
Or actually, you're a turn behind me.
All right, red shirt will shoot. Actually, no, he was on stun. He's going to ready and set to maximum kill.
Hey, when you get a second, get a little less alpha on the grid. Just a hair.
Right.
Or is that more alpha?
I think it's less.
More visible.
So less alpha.
Less alpha. There we go. That'll work.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so Asheron's. I'm just going to skip the Admiral for the present. Well, this thing can't do much since it's stunned.
Now the turn marker's bigger. Or the selection marker's bigger.
Maybe
Maybe
it
you
only
forced a grid
updated.
change. Yeah.
Yeah. Emerging from another hole.
Uh-huh. Saw that coming.
Emerging from a further hole. Can you see them all now? You should see 3.
3? Yeah. All right. Sprinting continued. And
What
I
are the
will
blue
reach
arrows for?
here. Those are for me.
So after
Right.
2 turns of forward move, we get the sprint bonus, correct?
1 turn.
Just 1.
Excellent.
Lorian is going to wheel around and begin aiming at biomechanical arachnid number 2, operating on the presumption that the red shirts are going to continue to pepper the other one, or maybe not. Also, I need to hit the next actor button.
Psylocke.
Shoot it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess might as well. So I'm gonna shoot all out attack, no accuracy bonus this time.
When in doubt, more DACA.
+2 for size mod.
Yeah, so +2 -4 +2, so a 0, I guess. Net 0.
Wait, where do you get the second +2?
Brace plus all out attack.
Gotcha. You're right.
Success by 2, max 3 hits.
Right. These pew-pews have low recoil.
Critical failure.
Okay.
It will fall over. Not that it wasn't already fallen over.
You shot it 3 times. It takes 4 hits.
That is enough to kill it outright.
All right. Then he will turn his attention in the other direction, and that will be my turn.
Ramius will continue to sprint.
Last one tours a rotten egg.
Okay, the red shirts will. I guess they'll boost.
The hell is that?
His dog sneezing.
It's a bird.
His dog sneezing because he ate the bird.
So that succeeds by 3. The range penalty is 5, so that's a fail. That's also a fail. Ash will run. Okay, these spiders are not fucking around anymore now.
Uh-oh, red shirt number 2 is about to get zapped.
Alright, so this spinneret thing will shoot out from the spider at red shirt 2.
Oh,
And
no.
it will critical hit.
Sadly, he cannot try to dodge.
Grappled him by the nose.
We heard that disembodied voice, "Get over here!"
Alright, it does insufficient to do damage to him, but he is now grappled by this hook, which inevitably is going to reel him into the spider's maw.
Damn, I shouldn't have sent Ash over there with you guys. I should have sent the other red shirt guy so he could die horribly in
that's
front
true.
of you. Oh, well.
The other spider
Sprinting.
clambers down the wall.
Sprinting more.
I suspect when it comes around to Ash, he's going to go onto the hostile thing. Start aiming at that Arachnid 3.
All right. Looks like I will reach her in 2 rounds.
Right. Aimed last round. I am engaging. Fire. Success by 5 possible hits.
Alright, that is
So
going to be 4
possible
hits.
Yep. Okay, Armored Visor 3, and this is at that glowy light thing. Ooh, 27 points.
Ooh.
19 points. 17 points. Why is it going down? It needs to go up. Ooh, 28 points. Ooh, that one's going to hurt.
All right. I got a spider in my face, huh?
Yeah, Ronky's grumbling because he's having to figure out how much
Yeah.
damage I actually did to it.
It's alright. I can drag and drop the damage onto it, and it works it out near enough. I don't have much DR versus you.
Well, I'll do my previous strategy and just all out attack, brace, etc. So I think I'm at
Seems
a
to be
+2
working
to
out
hit.
for you.
Oh, that is actually something I probably should have checked with you there, Brian. Since I was shooting him in the face, should I be rolling on the thing to see if it does more damage? I don't know if it can.
Yes. Do it.
1, 2, I'm shooting him squarely in the nose. Oh, nothing. That's 3. Number 4 is nothing major. So let's see, what is it?
Nose, jaw.
Yeah, but this is type beam burning, so it counts as a major wound.
Oh, yeah. Nose is skull.
Oh, yeah, skull hit if the attack was impaling, piercing. Yep, all right, shiny. I may have just drilled it right in the brain. And
You
the
took it
first
to
one was
-3, so that's multiplied by 4.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be the 27 and the 19, since the other 2 were.
Yeah, that's just
Not-
going to kill it outright.
Means it's going to disintegrate. So there you go, Psylocke. It's not on your grill anymore.
Sweet. Wasn't there a 3 though? Where's the other one at?
Yeah,
Didn't
it's
get to kill a red
south.
shirt.
Way over there. Don't worry, they can trip and twist an ankle and die from that.
Okay. It's not on my map. Is it just because it's out of line of sight? On my Oh no, I see it. It's way over there. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what he'll do is, glance around. So maybe a perception check, make sure there's no other spiders dropping on us from anywhere else, and make sure, and then just check in with Lieutenant Jones and everybody else that's around me, make sure they're okay.
Everyone seems to be okay.
The spiders don't.
And then he will start making his way over. Man, I lost my. I don't like how I can't just click and drag my map. I have to use these little arrows, and I gotta find them.
Use the middle mouse button on your mouse. You'll move the map around.
You can use WASD as well.
Okay.
Or arrow
that
keys.
works. Yep. Okay, the arrow keys work. I like that.
Do they?
Yeah.
They don't work for me.
Oh,
They
work
move
for
the
me.
token for me. Well, it may be because I have it selected.
Let me see.
'Cause I had it
that's
selected.
exactly it. Is once you unselect it.
Sprinting.
Also, I'm like, son of a damn it, the admiral or the captain is sprinting off by himself.
Damn,
like a
he's
crazy
fast.
person.
Yeah, sorry. 6, not 7.
He's that annoying captain that does the formation runs way too fast for everybody else.
We had that guy at Fort Benning. He's like, he was killing us because, oh, hey, he went out for the Olympics in college. And we're all like, we didn't.
But you shoulda.
I hadn't gone to college.
Oh, you said Ash would aim.
Yeah, probably. And, take a step forward to start minimizing the stuff. But yeah, he's got to protect the captain and maybe Dallas.
All right, this spider will move along the ground. Well, clambers down the wall some way and then moves the rest on the ground.
Running. And looks like the captain is probably going to beat me to her, in which case I'm probably going to stop here to shoot the vines. But that will be next turn. So I'm skidding to a halt.
Just moving because I don't think I can get a line of sight on the spider because of the thing that's there. I'm presuming that's sort of elevated.
Yes.
Right. And he's also shouting for the admiral to move because she's just standing over there like a proper rymph.
I guess he's continuing to move cautiously. So let's.
All right.
Remus.
Captain is going to close with the captive. That should do it.
Why are these reg heads not being turn ordered?
I don't know. Why isn't it?
Because he's not important.
It's weird. They're not being highlighted.
It's because they're red shirts wearing blue. It's super weird.
All right, next turn I'll probably see the spider.
Yeah.
Will take his shot.
Based off that, he should be at +4, right? Because it's -6, +2 for the or +8 for the accuracy, and then +2 for the size mod. So he should be at +4.
All out.
If he dares do it all out, I mean, +4 should be fine. See, he's
5
smart.
hits.
He said, "Screw this noise. I'm going straight to disintegrate 2."
2 hits.
Bah. 3 hits.
Sorry, 3 hits.
Trying to cheat him out of his well-earned
Except
damage.
I like red shirt Ash because he only rolls once.
Let's see where he hit. I rolled it off the arachnoid thing. That's right, bro. Cut off one of those. Oh, that hits a vein or an artery. Crippling hit points divided by 3. So, okay, shooting low, trying to cut the legs out.
Shoot, cuts a hydraulic line.
Yeah, he is shooting low. And he shot it in the digestive tract.
All right, so crippling with health divided by 3.
Yeah, in this case,
So-
they have 8 legs. I don't think shooting one of the legs is going to really slow it down that much.
Well,
It
if you
will-
got only 2 out of 8, that's not half. So I don't think he's slowed down yet.
All right, so one of the legs will get detached from its arachnoid body, and I guess green ichor will begin to pump from the wound.
And Ash says something about a boomstick. I don't know what he means.
Though it does need to make a health roll because of knockdown for losing a limb, which it succeeds. And it also took a major wound from the phasers, which it succeeds. Captain, you are target of this spinneret.
Ruh-roh.
Okay.
That will successfully hit.
Let's see here. I've got a dodge of 8. Can I do a dodge and retreat?
Yes, you can, because this is considered a melee
You
attack.
cannot do a retreat because he was running.
Did you use it? Were you using the sprint
full
bonus?
move. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Oh,
then
no.
you can't
Sorry,
retreat.
I didn't
You
use the
can't
sprint.
retreat.
I didn't use the sprint bonus because I was able to close the distance without utilizing sprint speed.
Okay, then you can retreat, and you can
So
also
I'm gonna-
extra effort if you have to.
Yeah, so I'm going to move a retreat that away. That gives me a +2 bonus, correct?
3.
3. And I'll fatigue it. And that gives me 4 then, correct?
Correct. Plus, you get +2 for extra effort, so you succeed by lots.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Cap's being shot at. He doesn't have hold of Casalandra at the moment, but he's about to. So I think Dallas is going to step back, try to get some of this obelisk between himself and the spider, and start shooting at some of the vines. And I believe we are, I think we're past the whole stun business at this point, so we'll use Disintegrate.
Okay, so you're going to be full cover from the spider?
Depends whether you want to call it full cover or not. I just took one step, so
It's big enough for
some
cover.
cover.
It's like 2 hexes wide.
Yeah. But yeah. So do you want me to roll a shot at the vines or just call it?
You're shooting at the vines general area.
Yeah. Okay.
The vines similarly react and begin to pull away, freeing up Casalandra a little bit.
Commander Lorian moved.
Sailor.
Oh, I think he's AFK. He said he was going to try to take a defensive position. I'm not sure what that would be.
It takes weight.
Okay. As he shot the vines, I noticed them slipping or easing a little bit. I would want to try to pull on the vines.
All right, so it is a dex -3, but I'm going to give you a bonus of +2 because they're being stunned. And you do need to make 3 successive success rolls.
All at +2?
So
All at-
Dex -1 3 times.
Yeah, and it takes 3 turns. However, if you fail one, for every success that you make, and you get 1 towards the 3 goal. Every failure that you make takes you 1 away from the 3 goal.
All right.
Make sense?
So three dex checks. They're each at +2 unless I fail.
Yes, but you only need to make 1 roll at this point. Well, critical. Critical lets you pull 2, so you get 2 towards your 3 total, or 2 successes. You need 3 total to get her out.
The next roll's on the next turn.
So these red shirts will probably get a little bit closer. Red shirt Ash will take aim. Spider is going to move and attack at the captain. This is max roll 9. Wow, that's a critical. That would be a critical fail.
Does it hook one of the vines?
That'd be funny.
Okay, it's a -2 defense. It's because it's only got 7 legs.
6.5.
Actually, I just had a look at the AI image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 legs.
Yeah, whatever.
Imagine my shock.
Let's see.
But to be
Dallas,
fair, it is an alien creature.
Dallas is going to.
At least the AI got it right, and it was symmetrical.
True. Dallas is going to keep up the pressure on the vinage here and hope that the rest of the team's got his back covered. Pew pew.
Okay, step. And let me calculate. That's -4 plus step -2 plus 1. Okay, -1. Could I make that? And that's only going to give me a 12.
I'm curious, when you took along the Admiral, did you give her a weapon?
I didn't.
Well, honestly, what's she going to do at this point? Well, I mean, she could want to leave no witnesses or something, but she'd have to destroy the entire damn ship in order to pull that off.
Okay, so the captain and the science officer are potentially in danger, so I am going to just rush the shot instead of aiming. And success by 3 possible hits. Luckily, it's at least -2 on defenses, thanks to it critically missing earlier.
And dodge, so
Awesome. So all 3 hit. Let's see if that matters. I'm going to shoot another leg for 21 points of damage, armor divisor 3. And I'm also going to... Ooh, Vital Strike. That's the wrong damage. Wrong damage. It went down. Vital Strike 11.
so that becomes 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And another leg hit. Damn. Now I got to scroll up and look at the first damage I did. Yeah, first damage is also the wrong one.
It's running out of legs.
Yeah, it was that instead because I rolled off the 4D instead of the 60. But the Vital Strike may be adequate to clear the danger out for you guys.
Okay, so 3 death rolls.
You need to fail them all. That's not a fail. That's not a fail. What the hell, dude?
And that's going to be 3 major wounds.
And the third major wound's at -5 since it's a Vital Strike. Not that it matters if you make it by 6. What the hell, dude?
All right.
So that's still -5. You said the third one was at -5?
No, the second one.
Second one. Okay. So it is not stunned.
FX, did you get skipped?
No, I just did a move, and then I ended my turn.
Okay. So I'll do another dex check here.
He's wisely making sure that we don't get flanked by other ones, or the Admiral doesn't pop her Wolverine claws. That doesn't look great, Captain.
Nope, it sure don't. Oh well. It happens.
All right, so that's 1 failure, so it goes back to
1 success.
1. You've got 1 success. These red shirts will move.
And Ash is at least at +6, maybe +7 if he goes all-out attack.
He'll at least take a step. He's not going to all-out attack, but he will be at -4, +4.
+4.
Yeah, +4 all up.
Is his range -4?
Yeah, his range is -4.
So +6 because +8 for range, for aim, and then +2 for Seismon. Yeah.
Ooh,
Damn.
5 hits.
Pew
I
pew.
don't think it's going to make it.
Not with that, it's not. Fortunately, Ash is a good boy and only rolls once.
I've got to train that boy better.
Well, at least he got a decent roll this time.
The GM secretly loves it. He's just pretending otherwise.
Well, when I get the feature finished that does the auto calculation of damage, then the GM's not going to care. All right, that's enough to put it past -5 times. This arachnid will disintegrate, and combat will be over. No more spiders emerge. Give me dex rolls to free Cassandra, and another
That's
one.
2.
3 successes. So
Three's
you
good.
will
She's
free
out.
her from the cables and vines that have her wrapped up. You can see that she's dazed, sort of
Dr. Jones!
not quite there. The vines try to reach for her, but you will drag her clear of the vines. Dr. Jones will come along and do some medical.
And the Admiral is missing.
The Admiral
Oh,
comes
darn.
up and she will say, I could have at least been useful if you'd given me a phaser. That's her excuse.
How is our patient, Doctor?
I want Dr. Jones to look at her and go, "My God, what have you become?" And then she transforms into a chrysalis.
She will say it appears that she has some sort of biotoxin within her system. Um, I believe she will recover shortly.
All right.
How
I
do
don't
we
want to
get
stick
her?
around.
We get her out of here if she has no environment suit.
I don't want to spend any more time in this structure than we have to. However, is she becoming clearer? Can she talk?
It will take her some minutes before she sort of comes around. And as she does in her sort of delirium, she will say, I can see clearly now. The rain has gone, or the haze has gone. She says, the technology here, it isn't just some artifact of a dead civilization. It's all alive. The tech here, it harbors a sentience. It was trying to communicate with me. It was like ghosts in a machine. It felt like there's more than one thing living inside all this. And then her eyes sort of widen and there's some clarity to her words. And she says, they are malicious. They are waiting for their chance to strike, to take everything over, and interface with everything. They created the spiders and this facility.
Sucks to know the Admiral was right.
I could feel it. There are dozens of places like this throughout the galaxy.
Better dozens than millions.
I still don't understand.
The Admiral will say, I believe she is right. We have detected near identical signals to the ones we're seeing here, here on this moon. It was detected some time ago in the Beta Quadrant. So Cassalandra, she'll eventually come around. She's going to be groggy for a little bit. Think of her like she's intoxicated, like tipsy.
Okay, then let's get the hell out of here.
Right. So knowing we came down here intending on retrieving her, is it logical to presume we did come equipped with, like, if nothing else, rebreathers and something that she can be in?
That's probably pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I would assume. Hey, give me the tactics roll. I guess the captain can make
Well, we
one
might
too.
have intended to beam her out at this
I
point.
made it by 9.
Good God, man.
Yeah, you certainly had the forethought to bring a suit,
I was
and I will
definitely
assume
probably
that you will
carrying
have the
it.
suit with you.
Yeah, because I'm the strongest, so it would make sense for me to be carrying it as well. And even carrying it, I don't think that's going to even put me into light. Right. So get her dressed, and then we need to possibly exfiltrate, unless the sciencey people want to try to communicate with the apparently living things here.
Well, assuming she's correct that they're malicious, we don't necessarily want them to get any more information than they already have. They need that information, or they wouldn't have been bringing people here to get it from them.
Right.
How we disable this is another matter.
Well, the prime directive may end up coming into play too. That's why I'm like,
how does that,
we should probably exfiltrate and bring in Starfleet Command somehow.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. I'm guessing if we get outside of the facility, we may be able to beam out.
Well, that will
Or at
depend
least
if
beam
the
her out.
engineering crew have brought those systems back online yet.
Oh, was that operation not complete at that point?
So it was an hour and 15 minutes. I think it was. I don't think you
And did
guys
we
have
leave
been here
immediately after that?
that long. You'd be probably approaching an hour.
Okay, so we came down on a shuttle anyway, so somebody's gonna have to fly it back. Yeah, so take off, rejoin.
That's my recommendation to Captain Ramius.
Guess we can figure it out from there.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, so you will make your way back. You will come back to the main door. The vines clearly cover the entrance, but you know that phasering them at low power at least makes them retract.
At this
Since
point, we're through
Yeah.
being nice.
you could easily disintegrate them and make your way through without a problem.
Got to get the VIPs out of here.
The situation on the surface has changed since your entrance into this place. There appears to be violent storms
Mhm.
that have emerged since you came in here.
I'm gonna crash the shuttle.
There is you start heading to the shuttle, and as you trek towards it slowly at first, because you're battling this dust storm and or all the dust that's blown up by this storm, and you will hear over the comms. It is crackly and distorted, but you hear landing party. U.S.S. Lexington landing party. I really hope you can hear this, but another Federation has just dropped out of warp and hailed us. They said, and then the comms go silent.
Dun dun dun.
I look at the Admiral and say, "Do you know anything about this, Admiral?"
The Admiral will shake her head and she says, I don't know. It is at this point that the sky begins to light up and you can see debris of what you can only imagine is the Lexington re-entering and burning up in the atmosphere as it flies through the clouds.
It could be a different Inex or Constitution.
It could be.
Oh my. Lexington? Lexington. Lexington! Come in, Lexington!
There is no reply.
We don't have a name to yell. Can't yell Khan.
Continuing to the shuttle. There will be time to panic later.
Yeah, at least we can get to the shuttle and get to some protection.
Though I'm thinking panic is counterproductive.
Your communicators will crackle to life again just as you arrive at the shuttle and enter the shuttle. You hear a voice, Lorian. You would immediately recognize this as Vulcan. The tone is monotone.
Not just Florian. Psylocke's a Vulcan too.
No, this is true. Psylocke, you'd also recognize it's monotone and very clear and concise. And it says, the Federation thanks you for your service and your sacrifice. Unfortunately, your contamination cannot be allowed back into Federation space. The
My
comms
spouse
then
will
go
be highly
silence.
displeased.
And that is where this season ends.
Excellent.
What a strange ending.
No.
I tried to get the AI to generate a good constitution re-entering the
I would have
atmosphere like
crashed.
just as well. So you'll just have to imagine, is it Search for Spock, where the
Right.
Enterprise
Yeah.
is burning up as you see it burning up in the
Why
atmosphere.
didn't you just grab a shot of that?
Yeah, too much effort.
Like getting the AI to cooperate isn't too much effort.
Yeah, we'll only try a few resamples and stuff, and then I give up. But anyway, you've got imaginations.
Exactly.
All right, everyone will get 2 points.
100 points.
I promptly
Excellent.
put another point into pilot shuttles, so I'm less likely to crash.
Sure.
I should take that.
Take what?
Pilot shuttles.
Yeah,
It seems like a good general skill to have if you're
agreed.
You are
The
going to
space
end up
fair.
using it quite a bit.
Right. Okay then.
Is
See
it my
if
turn?
This works. Non-friendly. Yes. And now to see if it fixes your initiatives when I set it back to normal GURPS.
Yeah, looks like.
So that's everyone's basic speeds correct in the combat tracker now.
That's mine. Yeah.
I'm good.
Cool. All right. Any spending of points while we're here?
No, not from me.
That's a negative.
All right. If you are watching this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
What kind?
See ya.
Yeah. Yeah.